Hi all, my name is Nishant and today we'll talk about how to use ChatGPT APIs to build AI applications. OpenAI allows its developers to use its API to create their unique applications. So to get started, you need to go to openai.com and there you will see a link called API. Just press on the Get Started button. So we'll click on API. But before we actually use their APIs, we have to set up something called a secret key. Think of it as a password, a unique key that only you know, and you will use that while using the API. The secret key is something that you cannot share with anyone, otherwise that person will be able to make API calls on your behalf and you'll be billed. So to create a secret key, press on the personal icon and then go to View API Keys and then click on Create New Secret Key. Put any name for the key and press Create Secret Key. You will be given a secret key which you have to copy right away. If you don't copy this key right away, then you will lose this and you will have to create a new one. Once you have saved the secret key, you can come back and you can see the key here on this page. So the first thing we will do is to install OpenAI Python APIs locally. So with that, let's go to the code. So here I have made a folder called Make API Calls, and let's create a new file. We will import OS, import OpenAI. So before we can actually make any API calls, we would need access to the secret key that we had earlier saved. Now I will save it in an environment variable. I will go to my home directory and open the bash profile. I will add export OpenAI API key, and here you will basically insert the API key that you have created in the previous step. So in order to make OpenAI API calls, you need three things. Number one, you need to select a model to use. In this example, we are going to use the GPT 3.5 turbo model. This is the model which is behind ChatGPT. The second thing you need is the name of the API. And in this case, we are going to use an API called Chat Completion API. And the third thing you need to provide is the message that you want to ask the ChatGPT, for example, a question or an instruction to do something. So let's first create some of the variables. Now, in this message object, the API takes three things. One is the role, which in this case is the user, and one is the content, which is the actual question or the instructions to ChatGPT. And now we can basically make the API call. We will use the Chat Completion API, and then we are going to use the variables that we have created. Lastly, we're going to basically print the response. So now we'll run this example. And there you go. So this is the response that was written by OpenAPI. You have an ID, there is an object, there is a creation date, it tells you the model, and then it tells you this data structure called choices. It's the messages that the ChatGPT has returned. And you will see there is a message object which has the role, that is assistant, and it's got the content. Let's write one more example where I'm going to ask it to write a short story about penguins. And there you go. It's again provided the role as assistant, and this is all the content that has come up. Now you can see is that the prompt tokens are at 14. In the previous example, the prompt tokens were 12. The completion tokens are 652. And in the previous example, the completion tokens were 89. Now, why is this token important? The tokens are important because ChatGPT charges me a certain amount per 1000 tokens. So there you go, guys. You were able to make your first API call to OpenAI. You can see the code on my GitHub. I'm going to put a link in my video description. So I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, press like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. Until next time, bye.